Hello. I It's really early. It's 4:43. Um just couldn't find myself sleeping. I had trouble sleeping, but I kept myself occupied. I read a couple of things, watched a few videos. Just I don't know. I don't usually do that, but not till like 5 a.m. I feel like this has been a while since I've ever done something like this. And I came across two different forms of medium um, relating about the reality that the world faces and how these are so real situations. They very much exist, but given that the world is so vast and so stretched out, and there are even some places that are still uncharted by humans in the 21st century. There's people in places that we can't even pronounce, or we've never even heard of, or we never, thought that the people there look like Oriental mixed with Caucasoid, and it just confuses us. We don't know these places exist. But what I've come to realize is that the world, society, or whatever harsh power that goes beyond nature has conditioned us into a perfect life. If you ask anybody, or if you ask every single person you meet in your lifetime, and you ask them what defines a perfect life, and I can sure as hell guarantee you that they see two things, if not more. The first thing is that they see themselves being financially stable. The thing about money, stable should not even exist within that set of words that relate to finances and whatever. Like the stock market, money raises, money falls. Anything can happen. Maybe when in the beginning of time, currency was important. Currency was to keep track of it all. But because of the greed of the world, currency got manipulated, and it is what it is today. Some countries thrive and flourish in wealth, so much wealth that you have such thing called a first world problem. And people are born in such a privileged way, and I'm not saying this to certain people outside, like you watching this. No, I consider myself one of those privileged children that don't even know what suffering is. It's crazy, but it all hits us differently. Maybe for the survivors, that are not living, for example, as a full human being. You know, they might be physically challenged in some form of way, or born lacking body parts. And it makes me think that God made them that way, but blessed them with such positivity, blessed them with such good, kind heart, the will to not give up. God may have put them, I'm using God. The universe is putting them in a tough situation with already their lack of, their impairments, I would say, but not in a rude way. But they are the most motivated, they are the people that keep going on. And us, the millennials, or people who struggle in this day and age to and lose to mental illness, we're our own type of warriors. You know, we're fighting different battles than how battles were fought before. We have all the tools, we're privileged, this and that. But when you think about it, why did the less become more resilient and the privileged weak? It's something to think about. I saw these photos that were so raw. You know, you could just feel the life from a picture, and you feel it just growing. Makes you feel uncomfortable, but it makes you aware. It really tingles your senses, your awareness. And that's how I felt when I saw this Chinese man's photos. Children are doing labor. Kids under the age who haven't even built their physical bodies up to their full potential are lifting weights and doing dangerous things, inhaling toxic fumes and being in places that are not safety approved, that could cave in any time and just kill them. And given that these children don't have any record on file in a hospital, given that their names are not marked anywhere, it's like they never existed. They're nobody coming from a nowhere with nothing. And that shook me. That shook me. Children are brought into this life to continue what our ancestors have been trying to survive for. Comes back to the survival of fitness. It just makes me think. What kind of world do we live in? Is whatever that we feel or whatever that we see and do, is it even real? We spend so much on unnecessary things. We can't choose between Crest toothpaste and Colgate. these are our problems? We got a flat on the side of the road? Or that my bra is black and my shirt is white? Like, we worry about these things on the daily. I don't know if you're aware of that. Right now, as I'm saying it, I'm more aware. I just think it's absolutely crazy how half of the world could be dying while we complain of the most simplest things. And that scares me, because where has humanity come to? What is your value? What do you value? I'm just lost for words. And then the second thing that I watched was homelessness. And not in a third world country. Homelessness in downtown Los Angeles on Skid Row. With all this modernization, all these new things coming out in the world, all these chemically man-made poison that we put into our bodies that causes addiction, and it's not our fault. It's how our body reacts to something that shouldn't be within the human body. We of the same species are poisoning one another. People are dying from HIV/AIDS. People are dying from mental health that's not taken care of. People are dying because everything is so expensive. People are dying because they're underpaid, they're judged, they're demonized, they're criticized, they're outcasts into society. And it's so heartbreaking to watch a video where people in the 21st century living in America are crapping, are taking a fucking shit on the road, on the pavement, in fact. Doesn't that mind fucking boggle you? Needles that are just laying down on the ground, people reuse them. Being sexually assaulted, molested, raped in a neighborhood like that is so high. Alcohol, drugs. If there is a hell, that is a hell. And people are so fucking tough that they survive in that conditions. I personally, now that my mind, like, my vision is open a little bit, I've always wanted to bring the issue on mental health somewhere. And this calls for a big reformation, because these people need our help. Why are we of the same species trying to destroy one another? We're all the same. Stop it with the whole discrimination and divisiveness and what's that word? I can't even think of the word. We need to stop. We need to be mindful and see each other as reflections, not shadows. You know?